And welcome to the WPG podcast. I'm Marco Conti with my co-host, Larry Vishak.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Our special guest is DJ Jacobucci from Upgraded Industries, former firefighter, bodybuilding trainer, and now UFC trainer.
Ooh.
Fancy, right?
Welcome, Deej. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, welcome to the podcast, man.
Excited to be here. You know that.
We'll see about that.
Drill me!
We'll see about that.
Let it all out.
I'm attempting to have my first walk-off. You might be the first one.
Yeah.
So Marco, we have some sponsors, huh?
Yeah, we have some sponsors.
All right.
This podcast and every podcast is brought to you by Marky Fresh Barbershop and Marky Fresh Beard Balm. We have coffee, leather, and tobacco for your beard needs.
I appreciate you
Marky
putting the
Fresh.
money up.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's really nice of you.
Thank you.
You're fancy.
Thank you,
I
guys.
like what you did there.
Appreciate it.
So how you doing tonight?
You're doing all right. A little bit
Yeah?
tired, but I'm here.
What time did you start today?
I got to the gym at 7, and I left there at 6:30.
Nice. Man, that's a hell of a long day for working out, hanging out with a bunch of sweaty people all day.
I love them sweaty men. You know that. No, I mean, it's what you got to do. It's the grind. You know, when you start a new business, you have to. If you don't, you're not going to be successful.
What is it like right now to be a gym owner in today's world? A newly gym owner. How long have you guys been open?
I've been open 1 year officially as of November 1st. It's had its ups and downs. You know, I can't say that I really knew what I was doing with business. I was a firefighter for 16 years, and I knew it wasn't my passion any longer. So I knew I wanted to do something, and it's a learning process. I'm grateful. I have a lot of great members. I have a lot of great people, clients. They support me. I have a hell of a following. So, you know, the good with the bad, more good.
Yeah. No, that's
Nice.
good. That's good. Congratulations on your 1 year.
Thank you.
Yeah, I bet. Did you expect it to be this big so fast?
I know what I'm capable of. I know that what I do is different. I know I'm loved or hated, but the people that love me, and they really love me, and they know that I always have their back and they have mine. So, you know, it's scary. But I don't sell bullshit. I don't sell gimmicks.
Yeah.
I don't rip people off. So, fuck it, I do me.
I tell you,
like
it is fascinating with the gym though when you walk in there compared to other ones. You know,
It
it's-
does have a unique flair. Like, I mean, you have all the superheroes on the wall. I mean, I think that's kind of the first thing you see
And
almost.
as cool as the superheroes are, that comes from my sons. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. Yeah, it's cool and it's graffiti, but that shit comes from my sons.
Mm-hmm.
It's family oriented. My gym, I like to describe it as like the Cheers of a gym. Like you said, when you guys walk in, it's different. It's a different environment, and that's the environment that I've created, an environment that people love. They've grown to love, and that's what I want. Larry and I were just talking earlier. You know, he's like, "Man, I was at Planet Fitness for a year and a half, and nobody ever talked to me." He's like, "Dude, I'm getting 25-minute conversations in a locker room. You know, guys talk to me every day. I'm there." It's like, yeah, everyone's cool. There's no dicks. There's no egos. There's none of that there.
There's a unity. There's a support group.
Absolutely.
Everyone's got each other's back, and
Always.
everyone's pushing each other to the next level,
Right.
which is
Whether you're
which
a
is
power
huge.
lifter, a bodybuilder, you know, a fucking Zumba, whatever you do, whatever you do in my gym, you're gonna be the best at it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I've noticed that. There's definitely not what you would think of a normal gym like that is a bunch of meatheads and people going
Right.
nuts, and it's not like that at
And
all.
that's what I keep getting, and I laugh. Oh, he only trains bodybuilders. Oh, and I laugh. I'm like, bro. I mean, I have 67-year-old men that I train. I have 7-year-old kids that I train. I just train bodybuilders. No, maybe that's what I appear, but that's not what I am.
Yeah, it's
You do post a lot of bodybuilding pictures with your clients. You probably don't post as many as like intimate pictures of the other clients that you do train, which I
And
understand.
some of that is per the client's request.
Right.
You know, some people aren't comfortable, and that's why they hired me, and that's why that I'm there. And I always ask, are you comfortable with putting this internet? And if they are, they are. If they're not, they're not, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like my shirt says, sometimes people just like to work in silence.
Yeah, no, you got some flair to your your wardrobe. For
Yeah,
sure,
some of those. What is the
What
one?
are you wearing right now? What's on the back of your shirt? What's that say, Larry?
I actually had to take
Work in
this-
silence.
Yeah,
Work
I had to
in
take
silence.
this one off the rack because I forgot to bring.
You got what's that other one? Fuck
your opinion.
Fuck your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people get so offended by that, but they don't even know the story about how that shirt came about. And then once they hear it, it's like, oh man, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
How did that come
Yeah,
about?
let's hear it.
So I was actually walking through Kalahari with my sons.
Price. Good
I was in competition prep, so I was fairly lean, fairly tan, you know, as it goes, you know, part of the whole thing. And I walked past, I guess you'd call it their cafeteria eating area, and there's a very large woman, probably 400 pounds. And I have, one son in one hand, one son in the other hand. And she looks right at me, and my sons obviously see her, and she goes, "Oh my God, that's fucking disgusting.
Oh.
Who would want to look like that?"
Oh.
You guys know me. Normally I'm very quick-witted, but I just sat about it, and I just thought, and I'm like, man. And it just stewed at me. It stewed at me. It stewed at me the entire day. I was with my kids, and that just put me in this downer-ass mood the whole day. I got home. I called my guy, and I said, "We're printing this fucking shirt."
Nice.
500 and sold.
Yeah,
Nice.
but seriously, fuck your opinion.
Right.
Though.
I mean,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
It goes to
true to the bone.
Right. It goes to so many different things, so many different avenues. People that have been told their whole lives that they can't. Fuck you. Fuck your opinion. I'm going to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know that sure caused a little controversy at one time at one of your events.
It
They were all
did.
pissed off about it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which brings into my following, because I hadn't even seen this guy, and actually Christian and I are very good friends right now, and we talk quite frequently. It was worn at a shirt. It was worn backstage at a show. I don't know if it was me that had it on or one of my guys. I don't really know. I always have one of my own shirts on, or one of my friends' companies, whatever. But yeah, it got brought out there because, the whole thing was, oh, this is a family-oriented event. And I want to say, well, this is a family-oriented event, but you got these chicks showing their buttholes on stage. So, bro, come on.
Where are you going to draw the line?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, where
family-oriented a little bit. But, yeah, and I can play devil's advocate. I see that, necessarily I wouldn't want my children seeing that. And I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, once I explained to Christian, he wanted to pull the whole article. And I said, no, dude. I said, leave it up. I said, because you see how quick, and I'm sure you guys saw, I didn't even need to say shit. I had all my guys bombarded.
Yeah, you're
him.
following.
Well, that guy, I tell you what, I remember that because I was like, oh, man, that really sucks that he's kind of getting already something bad towards him. And to be honest, that guy kind of got destroyed. Most people on there didn't even give a shit that he was like that. And a lot of people said that. They go, well, there's half-naked people in there.
Right.
What's it
right.
matter with what a word says? And furthermore, even if your kid sees that, you should probably be like, hey, well, you shouldn't say that. And
right. And, and being a father, my sons know what they shouldn't do, should or shouldn't say. And, just because they read something doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to repeat it. And the ironic part of that night was there was an individual who had his posing routine song, and the first three things were, F-bombs, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
They cut it, and you're not supposed to have that. You're supposed to have edited music.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like we're in church, bro, and we're in a bodybuilding show. We're in a bodybuilding show in a bar in Erie. How serious are we?
Yeah, I mean,
some
some people take everything seriously. I mean, which is like with everything.
But I mean, even that, if you want to call it negative publicity, it was still publicity.
Yeah.
And it still worked out. And it still brought attention to me, my business, and my team. So you know what? Fuck your opinion.
Yeah.
I have you been doing more events or less events lately? I really haven't seen too many of you out lately.
I've decided to switch avenues. I'm going back to my original love, which was always fighting, mixed martial arts. Stepped away from it for 10 years. My ex-wife wasn't too fond of it, which I can understand. I got 2 kids. She didn't want to see me get punched in the face. Done the bodybuilding thing for a long time. I like to think I'm pretty successful at it. Do I love it? I love the sport. Do I love the industry? Not at all. Not even one bit. Follow my Instagram. You can figure that out real quick.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's funny how you mentioned that you were in MMA because I remember you when you were starting out and you were very, very good. And a lot of people were shocked when you backed away from it.
Yeah, and it was never something that I wanted to get away from personally. It took, and honestly, with my divorce and everything, it did make me resent my ex-wife a lot more. Like I said, I understood, but it was something that if I want to go out, I want to go on my own terms. I don't want to be taken from it. Mentally, then I was a mess. I was young. I was in my teens. I didn't have the game mentally. Physically, put me in a room with anybody, and I was, a fucking UFC champ. Put me in a cage fight, and I would just shit the bed. And, I had a good record, a winning record. I did very well. But who I was and who I should have been were 2 totally different things.
Yeah.
Now, 10 years fast forward, I'm a little beat up, but I still got one more run to me.
So you think you're going to go back into it?
I know I'm going back into it.
Really?
That's awesome.
This
man.
is my public announcement.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
going?
All right.
Are you going to go NAAFS? Or are you going to try to?
As far as I know, NAAFS has been sold.
Has it?
There's a couple of different organizations. I've actually contacted one promoter who was a close friend of mine years ago. He's still doing his thing. So whatever comes up. I have my training partners back. I called my buddy Nick. And Nick and I haven't talked in a while. And he goes, I know what you're calling. And I go, what is that, Nick? He goes, because it's something I think about every day. And I said, well, are we too old? He goes, we're older. He goes, but we're both still crazy. And Nick and I back in the day, I'd like to think that we were ahead of the game. Nick had done some time in Thailand, China, done some Thai boxing, all that shit over there, some grappling. He's a sick black belt. He's been the last couple of days training with me, 2 hours a day. So, you know, we're taking our steps back to it. Am I jumping into a fight right away? No. I mean, I want to have the gas. Obviously, I'm not 170 pounds anymore, so I got
Yeah,
a
where
little bit
would
of
you
weight
fall?
to
You-
go.
I've
Just
noticed
a little bit.
I've noticed you've gotten smaller.
I have.
Definitely got. You used to walk around like a tank.
Yeah, and that, you know, when you gotta have your girlfriend put your socks on, or cut your toenails, it's
That's the price you pay to look that big.
yeah,
Huh?
you know, and for the sport, it was cool for a while, you know, being that big and being that strong, and it's great. And I can't say anything negative about the sport of bodybuilding. Like I said, I don't like the industry, and it's just no longer what I want to pursue for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to diversify, get into other things, or get back to your bread and butter.
Right, and
You're from what I hear from you were kind of a pioneer in the sport. I mean,
well,
you fought with Stipe.
yeah.
I mean, you trained with Stipe.
And Jessica.
Jessica.
The world champ that lived in my basement, and he was my bar back.
Yeah.
When we worked at John's Cafe. No, he's a great dude, you know. And we, when we first started, it was a fairly new sport. We were like the really only, I don't want to say bigger names because I don't ever think I was really shit, but
Well, Bobish, you guys train with Bobish, right?
yeah, Dan came in. Dan was fighting before Stipe and I. Stipe actually came in and was brought in to wrestle with Dan. And then I had gone to another gym, which I don't care to mention because I didn't want to give them credit for shit. But I quickly left there, and then I went to Strong Style.
Yeah.
And then that was history, man. I knew. I walked in my first day. I got 2 black eyes, a bloody nose. I said, well, I need to be here.
You were the originator of the Strong Style down to spine tattoo, I do believe, right?
I was not. Forrest Pets, Jeff Cox, our old guys, our OGs. They had it first. I was one of the first ones, though. Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty cool. I can't believe you're going to go back into it. I tell you what, Marco.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to watch him fight,
It's got to be brutal, man. I wouldn't want to be in that cage for sure.
He's
Staring
the
down
only
the
guy-
barrel of a gun.
I was at a fight, and I think it was at the Flats, the night of. It was something like that where he got knocked to the ground. He was on the ground on his back, and he literally knocked the dude out from his back.
That was
Really?
That was
Chaparral's in Akron.
awesome.
Dustin Blue.
Yeah.
So
You probably didn't see that coming.
well, the whole thing was about 4 weeks before he had fought a friend of mine, a very close training partner of mine, Silas. And the kid, he was a good grappler, and he just held him down and laid on him. I call it the leg humper special. You know, yeah, you can win a fight, but is that really how anybody wants to see you win?
Right.
You know, and me having my wrestling background and my grappling background, I called him out that day. I said, we're fighting. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to find you. We're fighting. So he accepted the fight. And my whole thing was, I had always been knocking everybody out. So everyone is always like, oh, he's a boxer. No, I'm a grappler, man. I mean, I'll punch you hard, but I want to choke you fucking unconscious first. So he actually had come at me. We threw a couple shots. I hit him with some big shots. He kind of backed up. And then I jumped guard. I pulled him to the ground. And the second he postured up, I hit him with a short right. I, myself, didn't even know he was knocked out on top of me. He stopped moving and fell forward. So then I postured up through 6 or 7, I believe, unanswered punches. On the last one, he woke up. The ref pulled me off of him.
Really?
You know, I wasn't fighting to hurt the kid by any means, but you also don't think you're going to knock somebody out and they're going to lay on top of you.
Yeah,
that
and
was-
you also don't think you're going to knock them out, then hit them
your-
so hard
from your back.
that they're going to get unknocked out,
Right.
which is
I put you
pretty
to sleep,
insane.
and now I woke you up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's still on YouTube. It's shitty quality, but it's pretty cool to watch.
Well, that
We should link that video in the description area when we drop this.
that was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, Stipe was actually in my corner, and you hear him yelling, "Fuck yeah!" No, it's pretty cool.
And so now, turning that, you went from all of that to now training a possible
will for sure be a world champion.
world champion.
Little Miss Jessica.
Another world champion out of the same gym, or out of the same gym that started all three
Correct.
of you.
Yeah. I mean, I always give Strong Style their props. I
Yeah.
love Marcus. I always will. He's like a father figure to me.
Yeah.
So, and I would never say anything bad about that.
That's how exciting is that for you? Because I know she was falling a little bit in her other weight class. Now that she's chose this new one,
Well-
it seems like she's doing well. Now she's picked a new corner. Let's see what happens.
We have a good little team going. We call it Team I, and Jess is the boss.
Yeah.
And
As she always has been.
As she is, but that's Jessica, and that's why we all love her. We all love her. We all hate her. We all want to smash her head sometimes, but we do what she says. No, I mean Jessica, when she first started, she was smaller. She was younger. She was a kid. I remember the first day she walked in the gym. There was really no divisions for women. So
Yeah.
she kind of fought wherever they put her. You know, when the UFC opened a women's division, they only had 135-pound division.
Yeah.
You know, Jessica didn't weigh that.
With Ronda and all
Right.
them, yeah.
So she was the smaller woman fighting the bigger women. Now, obviously, you see, we dropped her to 125. She's on a 3-fight win streak in 11 months, all international fights.
Yeah.
She's a terror. The last fight in Canada, she hit that girl with a straight right, and
Yeah.
that girl, I watched the life suck out of her face.
Really? Well, you were there.
I was there.
Yeah,
Cage
yeah.
side, yeah.
So is now that your gym has, because your gym has evolved, it went from the bodybuilding, and it still is,
Right.
and now you put the huge cage in there, which hopefully the reviews have been. I saw that your reviews that were kind of negative at first, but then people started liking it, and
Right.
going there, people start using it more too.
Right, and typically you think mixed martial arts, you think tattooed douchebags wearing tap out in affliction.
100%.
Right, and that's the stigma that's.
Did you just read my thoughts?
And when you walk out of there, you get a guaranteed fight injury, no matter if you do it or not.
right. I took an online course on
Yeah.
how to UFC, as
Yeah.
they call it, not even MMA. No, it's and that was the stigma that follows it, but it's also the same stigma that follows bodybuilding, that they're all douchebags and they're all meatheads, they're all idiots. But again, that comes back to that shirt, man. Fuck your opinion. We're gonna do us. We're gonna do what we do, and we're gonna do it good. You know, anything that's in my gym, anybody that comes out of my gym, we're doing everything we can to be the best.
You know why I love that? Because what you're doing essentially is you're pushing all that negativity away, and you're just growing positively.
Right.
And then there's no, I mean, you're just improvement over improvement. With that negativity just, causing a thunderstorm over you, you really can't get the job done.
Right,
And
and I think-
that's why I love those shirts. I have a couple myself, by the way. I rock
He
those.
refuses to make my size.
No, I told you I'll make your size, Larry.
What is your size, Larry?
Shit.
I don't know. I'm in between. Well, undisclosed.
Undisclosed. We're going to link that in the description as well. Larry's size.
Are you
Just in
looking?
case anybody wants to send him a t-shirt.
Yeah. Are you looking to expand that? I know that you're probably running out of room there.
We are. We are running out of room. I don't know why I'm saying we, it's me. I am running out of room. I would like to bring Jessica in for some more stuff. We've talked about a performance institute, stuff like that, doing some things together, which, I'd love to do. I am kind of maxed out on space right now. Is it crowded? Is it clustered? No.
No.
I have everything set apart pretty good so people can move through.
Even with that cage in there, I mean,
It
you
fits,
you would
dude. It just
think
fits.
you would think
I
it's
tell
too
you,
big, but
it's
it actually
not.
it works out
Right, it
perfectly.
just,
You still have a lot of room, I think.
Right.
Did I hear you were even talking about expansions in the future?
Yes. So I would love to get the building next door to mine. Obviously, I don't want to blow my wad with money and things like that.
Yeah.
With the expansion, I would love to do. Then I just have the entire building, bust out a block, and then we go next door. One side would be more sports specific, training like that, fighter oriented, things like that. The other side would be more of the fitness area, things like that. So over time, yeah, I mean, it's only been a year, but I've done a lot of shit in a year, and I'm gonna keep going.
I tell you, you climbed in all honesty, you went from not having anything to buying this empty warehouse to honestly shutting down the other gyms almost. You know what I mean? You're other than like the Planet Fitness, which
Well, I can't compete
it's hard
with
to
chain
compete
gym
with
money.
that. It's
Right.
$10 a month, and
And they cater to a certain
they do.
demographic
And
and a price range.
you guys have been. It has been. And now that I'm a member, I love it. I love it there. It's
Thank you. I'm glad, man. I told you.
It's never. Yeah,
Took your ass a
for
while.
months
Took
he's
your ass a
been
while,
begging,
bro.
telling me you got to come up there, leave that freaking other place, and like
You just
he-
love Pizza Monday, wasn't it? Or is it Bagel Tuesday?
Bagel,
Bagel,
like
one
that.
of those.
Yeah.
Maybe the bowl of Tootsie Rolls. Who knows?
I take fistfuls.
Have you gotten any negative backlash from any of the other gyms around the area when you opened up?
Oh yeah. Well, I think everybody knows that, and that's
Yeah, we
another-
see that feud online all the time.
Well, and initially when I left on not the greatest terms, and it necessarily wasn't even by the owner of the other facility. Him and I, for the most part, other than the extortion of money I had to pay him, we got along. For the most part, it was after that where he took his shots. But I mean, if I had a dude that was younger, better, smarter, I'd be a little bit nervous too.
I tell you, man, you definitely. So I went to the other gyms, like you said, and even saying like, it's crowded. I've never ran into a situation where I had to wait for something, like a machine or an area. And I pull sleds in there, and it's never in the way, and people are conscious around you.
You can't do that shit at Planet Fitness. You can't be
No,
pulling stuff.
and Planet Fitness, and we're obviously nothing against them. They're a great gym for what they need to
Right.
be.
It's just not
but
what your lifestyle is.
Nobody's when you go there, nobody's conscious of anything, and most of the time, people there they don't care. In your gym, I tell you what, there's been multiple times where I'm like pulling a sled and somebody's working out, and they're like, "Hey man, am I in your way? You want me to move over?" And this dude's in the middle of like a huge rep set, and I'm like, "No, you're fine, dude. You're right." And he goes, "Listen, if I'm in your way at all, just let me know, and I'll move everything." And you'll have people ask a spot, and it's just the girls that walk in there. None of them. You see girls walking in by themselves, like none of them feel like they're uncomfortable.
No, and that's I should say problem. That's how I am as an owner. I am on that floor all day. Yeah, I'm not the greatest at the business aspect of it. I got help. I'm doing that. I'm going through with that. But I'm on the floor, man. I try to talk to everybody. Anytime someone comes through, I give them a tour.
Yeah.
You witnessed that yesterday.
I saw that. You had a few customers come in.
5 of them yesterday in between.
I heard
clients.
you yell for them to come back.
Yeah,
so you can show them around. Yeah.
I mean, I usually don't even want people to sign up until they take a look around.
Yeah.
Maybe that's shooting myself in the foot with business.
I don't think so.
No, but
I think you're being really transparent. I mean, you're showing exactly what they're paying for.
And you can bring your kids in there. I've seen that you have a play area, which is cool.
Yeah.
And you have a massage area.
I do.
You have a masseuse come in.
Mm-hmm. You worked at me today, thank God.
What else do you have? You have a lot of things in there that people don't even know about.
No, they don't. Soon coming, a youth program for wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, women's self-defense. We have cardio classes, cardio boot classes coming. I have one of my trainers, Stephanie. She's going to do, we're calling it the ass class pretty much. I mean, if you've seen her, you know why.
Get that booty, ladies. Get that booty going.
No comment, I'm married.
But, that's what caters to a lot of people right now, and that's what they like. I explain my gym as a lifestyle gym. It's where people go to improve their life. It's not necessarily bodybuilders, not necessarily powerlifters, not necessarily.
It's for everybody.
No, I tell you what, you see all walks of life that walk in there. You do those couple guys that you're doing that you put on Instagram all the time. They're a little older, right. and you're working them out, and they're not bodybuilders by any means. And you have. I just see, in all honesty, and this is the truth, I see more people walking there that are average,
right,
than that are bodybuilders.
And it's maybe my fault for how my marketing or my Instagram or my Facebook is to where. I post the in shape people, but it's not ever intentional. Like I said,
you're a gym.
Well,
you're just proud of your clients reaching a certain goal.
It's that, but it's a client transformation. It's this person has prepped with me for 20 weeks and they've gone on stage, and it's they've done this dress rehearsal for so long. Why wouldn't you finally get the final product and post it?
And that's the one thing I don't like about the other gyms is that I feel like some of them, like the commercial gyms, they almost shame people who are like that. Like you should feel bad that you're in shape, and I'm not a guy who's in shape. I'm a guy who is a shape.
Stop.
Really? I think you're beautiful.
I am like a pear shape, and I tell you what, it's
juicy pear.
I like pears.
It's
they're delicious, Larry.
You walk in there and you wonder, like why do they hate the people who are actually working out and killing it? To me, that's who I want to be.
Right.
That's who I'd love to be one day.
That was always what was confusing about me is that, judgment-free zone. But, you look at me, and if I walk in there, they're going to be like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you're getting watched. You're getting watched like you're
leave.
Yeah, you're getting watched like
this
crazy.
guy's already judging. Sound the alarm.
Right.
He hasn't said a word, though.
The clunk alarm or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, yeah.
Call her.
Yeah. I tell you what, Mentor isn't that bad. I've never really heard it there when I
know you're
went
shocked,
there,
but I've never been into Planet Fitness.
Stop.
Stop. Come on. You never went for one day? No.
Maybe I need to.
Maybe you should.
Maybe
You should take some classes.
Maybe now that I'm downsizing, they won't be so judgmental.
Wow, no. That's impossible.
No,
But so speaking of which, the what else comes with those gyms are the enhancement stuff. And
here we go.
Well, and it follows with every gym and every sport, and it actually coincides with the UFC with the fighting. The Jon Jones situation.
That big debacle.
Is this something that you have to fight every day? And all, like now that you're training Jessica, and now that you yourself want to get back into it, is this something you really have to be careful about? It's going to come in every gym regardless.
So an enhancement fee, if it's used properly, and by properly I mean it actually goes back to your members and supports the business like it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, there's some other area gyms around here that charge you an enhancement fee, and then the very next day they shut their gyms down and they show up in a new SUV. I'm never going to do that.
No. I'm talking about enhancement.
Oh, we're talking about
muscular.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what are you talking about, man?
Muscular enhancement.
Gotcha.
No.
So that's the area that no one ever wants to talk about. That's
the area I always want to talk about.
Well, fuck it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Fuck it.
No, it goes with every gym, and
does.
you probably agree with it. Like every gym like that, you have all the gyms around us.
Dude, every gym, not even like that
it's
gym
not
like
even-
Planet
that.
Fitness,
Yeah.
and
Everywhere.
they're like,
There's
are they
juicers.
are the enhancements? Like I said, you have the UFC that Jessica's in. You want to fight again. The Jon Jones situation, which we could talk about in a little bit, but you have all of that. How hard is it? And I'm sure you have to be a lot more careful with all that stuff. And actually, we were talking about it the one day at the gym. Is it hard to keep that stuff away or controlled? I mean, you don't have to answer whether it's being used or not, but is it harder to just police that?
I have had a lot of young guys that come to me, and they've been on just an absorbent amount of just bullshit, just crazy shit. And I asked them straight out, how long have you trained the right way? How long have you eaten the right way? And usually it's not long. We're in a time where everyone wants immediate resolution, and then nobody wants to work for anything. So they want immediate results, and you can put any amount of steroid in your body. If you don't train properly, you don't have proper nutrition, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. So that being said, with a professional athlete that does train properly, that has a nutritionist, that does all these things, will they help? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously.
Devil's advocate. You're in a sport. You want to be the best. You want to do whatever it takes to be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With being restricted at the same time,
Right.
It becomes a tough world.
Is it safe for your body? Like, I know, like back in the day, it was like very, very frowned upon. Like, oh my God, this is unsafe for you.
Well-
has these enhancements changed medically where they're now, I don't know, safe for your body?
I don't know that necessarily anything is truly safe. I mean, there's risk, there's everything. Some people want to, outweigh their risk versus reward. Have anabolics advanced in time? Yeah, absolutely. Things like peptides, things like that. Even supplementation, legal subs have all advanced. And that comes with the time, Are people using them smartly or safely most of the time? No. Who are they under direction of? Some fucking idiot that's never done it. That he read it and never had any practical application. I don't care if you do. I don't care if you don't. If you're ever gonna, you should do it the right way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I just so what do you think about the whole Jon Jones thing, man? I mean, being to be honest with you, I've been reading a lot about it, and it's almost like they do make sense, but they don't. They're saying that it was a trace amount from his last time, but then there's a lot of people saying he could still be microdosing.
Right. My problem is that they're saying it's a trace amount for the last time, but he had a previous test showing that he was 100% clear.
Right.
So now he has a trace amount. I've been
Right.
perfect witness to USADA testing. Jess and I were out sparring one night. Got a phone call, hey, we're at your house. Okay. That process was at least an hour and a half.
And you
to 2
can't say
hours.
no.
No, you can't say shit, dude.
Yeah.
You can't,
They roll up
That's
deep and they test everything.
I mean, there's been times where she's been on her way to train me, and she calls me. I can't, I got to pee. I got to do blood. Okay.
And it takes a long time.
It's about 2 hours. So they send, I think it was 4 or 5 of them. There's a guy that keeps time.
Is it a 2-hour window or is it a 2-hour
no,
process?
Dude, it's a 2-hour process, bro.
Really?
It's crazy. So
Do they check it immediately? Is it?
everything is done right there and then labeled. So there's someone that takes the time. There's someone that draws the blood.
Yeah.
There's someone that takes the pee. There's someone that labels it all. And they do it right in front of you, and you have to sign everything. Everything has its own interlocking cap, interlocking everything. Every vial of blood has a cap. Every vial of pee has a cap. It's a crazy process. Now, that being said, yes, USADA can be beneficial. But, hey, I'm a fighter. You know what? I decided that for my training camp, I'm going to go backpacking for 30 days in the Alps.
Yeah.
Wherever the fuck.
Right.
Okay, well, come find me.
Right.
In that 30 days, could I have cleaned up? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So are there some gray areas, some loopholes? Most likely. Did Jones find them? Probably.
Yeah, they were. They said that the testing has gotten so advanced now that literally within months of the last of his test before that, the new stuff may have been catching stuff that the other one couldn't. But that being said, I know DC was really upset over it.
As he should be. I'm not particularly
The fans, can you imagine? The fight is Saturday,
right.
and you get the notice. What was it? 2 days ago.
2 days
Hey, by the way, all that stuff you just paid for. Yeah, that's not going to
Yeah,
work.
by the way, your friends and family that bought flights and bought hotels for
Not
Vegas,
even friends and family, just fans.
Now we're going to California.
Yeah, you have to go to California. So your ticket. Your hotel. See ya.
Yeah,
Your flight. See ya.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just too close to change anything.
Right.
So, if as a UFC in
That's
whole,
a lot of money for.
Can you imagine? Like,
a lot of money.
Listen, I'm not a rich guy. I tell you what, when I go to these events, I go on a few Stipes. dude, it's planning. You know what I mean? You're planning and you're doing this and you're doing that. And for them,
and you're taking time off of work.
Yeah, time off work, and just in general, like, hey, everybody's gonna meet here, or at the most of the people that go, like, we would go under UFC, so everybody would go to one hotel. That way, it's easier. Right. Now you have to find everybody a hotel.
You gotta find
hotels have to have accommodation. They might
Right.
not. I mean, I truly, and even Dana White said he was losing money at the door by going to a smaller event. Like, I don't know what their thinking was. I mean, you had Chris Cyborg, who's on that card, who can draw a crowd.
Who easily could have been a main event. And they could have found another co-main.
I know everybody wants to see Jon Jones fight. And I'm not saying that, and that's the problem, is it's 50-50. Is he getting kind of blackballed because maybe this could be a weird incident where he wasn't? But you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation to begin with. And now you're making everybody else change their plans. Can you imagine if Jessica, like, she's on that card, like, she have to change everything?
I'd be fucking furious. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, like, being a coach. I don't know how you would feel about that. I mean, obviously you don't have an option.
Well, no, you don't really have an option, and I don't understand. And for Dana to say he's losing money, that's fucking bullshit.
Well, he said at the door because it was a venue from $3 million to $1 million, and so he's losing money at the door.
So then why didn't you just pull him from the main event?
Exactly. I mean, if he's already testing positive, he's already ruining his contract, so you don't have to pay him, I do believe, right? I don't know the 100 rounds about.
Nevada wouldn't commission him to fight is the issue.
Yeah.
They have very strict standards. Sometimes I agree with them, sometimes I don't. What I don't agree with is moving that entire venue. He tested positive, he should be out, period.
Right.
It's a lose-lose situation for him.
I know that Dana explained it. And he almost explained it like how, Jon Jones, he's like saying you take a grain of salt and cut it 50 million times, and then that's what you find is that 1/50 millionth of a grain of salt.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense.
And they said it doesn't. There isn't enough in the system to affect anything. But that being said, how do you know he hasn't been using it?
Steroid that's metabolized through your kidneys and liver, your hepatic system. Okay, it's got a half-life of 16 hours.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me from 18 months ago, this drug that's oral, that's metabolized the same way that your protein is still in your blood?
Yeah.
For 18 months.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bullshit.
I think a lot of people agree with you. I think it's more. I think it's more than not. But then again, people want to see it.
Well, I think he should be out the distance in. If he says, yeah, let's fight, I think he should get Jon Jones' purse, or Jones' purse should be donated. You want to fight? You want to get your belt back? Fine, we'll fight.
Yeah.
But you're fighting dirty, and you're fighting for no fucking money.
Right. Who do you think who's going to win?
I thought Gustafsson won the first one, to be honest with you.
Really?
Absolutely.
Nice. So if Jon Jones gets that belt, and I know we've stepped away from the gym, but if Jon Jones gets that belt, do you think DC will go down and fight him?
No, DC will run from him just like he's running from Stipe.
Agreed. I think he's 100% running from Stipe.
Yeah, he wants to play his sportcaster and be a lazy piece of shit and beat up guys that have no right in being in the fucking UFC anyways.
Yeah, I think him beating Stipe was an anomaly.
Maybe if Stipe was a moron and walked in and said my balls are hot, maybe he'd get better,
Oh, that was. I tell you what, when I saw that, and then when they had Brock Lesnar have them
who's
say,
a fucking absolute moron,
who had him disrespect Stipe like that. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of lost respect to the UFC in general.
And that's a problem. The UFC, since the Fertitta brothers have been out of it, it's gone to a media company, and honestly, all they give a shit about is not the fighters; they care about the draw.
Yeah, I agree, and that's you got to listen. You got to make money. I get it, but for them to disrespect the highest reigning heavyweight champion ever to step into that ring ever. I know he's my friend, but being just in general, the dude won more than anybody else, and you're gonna let somebody walk in who's known for using steroids,
who's a bum, he's a legit
who's
bum.
a bum. He it's ridiculous.
I met Brock about 13 years ago, and I went out to Iowa. I went to the military camp, trained with a lot of those guys, and that's when he first came in the first time from the UFC. He came in probably around 300 pounds, and the cutoff weight is 265 for heavyweight. He was juiced out of his mind then, and he was an absolute fucking douchebag. I don't know who was a bigger douchebag, him or Tim Sylvia, if you remember Tim Sylvia. Yeah. So they were in a training camp with them, and Robbie Lawler was there. That dude's the fucking coolest guy ever, not gonna lie.
I like Robbie.
But, Brock was even a douche then, and he had all these issues, and his stomach issues he claimed, and this and that. But he's out boozing, doing whatever. Leaves to the UFC, goes back to make-believe wrestling, and then all of a sudden they bring him back. Why?
That draw.
Because he's going to draw.
So on that, we're going to take a break real quick. Marco, what is this sponsored by?
This is sponsored by Marky Fresh Barbershop and Marky Fresh Beard Balm, coffee, leather, and tobacco for all your beard needs.
Are you wearing it right now?
I wear it every day. I wear the leather every morning.
Nice.
Smells great and keeps my beard tamed.
Ooh. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, we're back. We're here with DJ from Upgraded Industries, who actually just announced his comeback to the fighting world. Can you believe that?
Huge, man. That is huge.
Wow.
This is going to be insane.
I'm pretty excited to watch this old man fight.
I know.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I'm feeling real old right now.
So when you walk out, are you going to use a walker? Or?
Oh, that's fucked up.
No,
Dude, that's
I-
fucked up. Shots
I'm
fired.
Marky Fresh Jazzy, bro.
Nice,
Like,
man.
whip out a
Nice.
hat,
I
some
like
rubs on it.
So when you are now going back into fighting, do you go amateur or you go pro right away?
I never turned pro. I was at that point in time we were working on. There's an organization called the King of the Cage. I was supposed to do a 170 pound tournament. Some shit fell through. Organization kind of flopped. At one point in time, they wanted me to try out for the 185 Ultimate Fighter. It was literally the day after my one title defense, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't really in the reality TV shit, and it just didn't feel right to me. So if I go back, my plan is, and I talked to my training partner Nick Goldeisen, who's also my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach, and he wants me to do a couple of steps. You know, to get bagi into it, I'll probably do some no-gi tournaments. I'm going to do a couple amateur boxing, and then I'll get back in the cage.
Oh, so you're not going to go directly. You're going to just try to feel your way out.
I'm going to do it smart.
He's got to get the dust off,
Yeah,
Larry.
that's true.
Give the guy
Can't
a
have some
chance.
young dude with my ass.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so and I know you're an experienced guy with everything, and I know you coach. So how? I mean, in all honesty, how nervous are you going to be getting in a cage with? Let's be honest, kids. I mean, you're getting 19, 20-year-old dudes that have stamina like crazy. I know you have the experience, which is awesome. But I mean, is it going to be nerve-wracking at
Do you
all?
remember when you were in high school and the guys that just graduated came back and they were big and they were strong and they made you feel like a little boy?
Yeah.
That's going to be me.
Nice.
Them.
Nice. I like that. That's pretty good.
I love how you put things into perspective.
Yeah,
like
he's like,
that.
hey, remember when this time? And the more interesting part, you were telling me about that your one son wants to start doing
Yeah, so I have
MMA.
identical twins. I think a lot of people know that. Daniel is my spawn. He is my devil spawn. He's
boy.
me to a T. He's my karma.
I hope he's not your younger
They're
one.
they're pretty badass at wrestling.
They
are.
They've been
badass
killing it,
wrestlers.
right?
Yeah, I mean Dom's a little badass. Daniel, he's not feeling it. I think it's a confidence issue with him, and he gets frustrated with the wrestling, and he wants to just punch someone. Which, we all understand that.
Yeah, we've all been there.
So I have him hitting mitts. I still have him wrestling. I told him that as long as his brother wrestles, he still has to drill with his brother. He still has to practice with his brother. He doesn't have to do the meets. That's our compromise. He said, "All right, Dad, that's fine, but I want to do MMA." Okay.
So you're not forcing any of this. This is just something they naturally want to do.
No, and this was, it's funny because with my ex-wife, she thought, oh, you're just trying to have him live, vicariously through. No, I'm not. My sons exhibited behavior at 3 that they were good. Their first year, they were 4 years old, 4.5. They were 39 pounds, and they were little beasts. My son, his first year of wrestling, was in kindergarten, standing in 3rd place in the conference tournament next to 9-year-olds.
Wow.
Hey, if the shoe fits.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
And for a while, she fought me on it, and then it wasn't until a couple parents said, "Look, dude, your kids are special."
It seems like they're very passionate about doing it too.
They are, and the biggest downfall they have is I think they don't want to let me down, which as long as they never quit, they'll never let me down. I don't care about winning or losing. I don't call losing. I call it learning. You either win or you learn.
Yeah,
That's
good
a really,
advice.
I tell you, team sports in general for kids is, not even maybe sports, just team activities is good for a kid. They learn social
Absolutely.
structure. They learn how to lose. They learn how to win.
Well, and especially with the wrestling. Wrestlers notoriously through life will always grind. They have a certain work ethic that not a lot have.
Yeah.
And whether he's a state champ or whether not, but what I want him to take away from it is that work ethic and to never give up. And unnecessarily, you mentioned a team sport. It is, but it isn't. There's nobody else out there with them.
Yeah, but wrestling for like schools, you have your whole team,
there's a camaraderie,
or
right,
even
right.
like Jessica, she has a team. Even you have a team. It's just you happen to be the name of the team,
Right.
And which is good for them. So do they know that Dad used to MMA?
Yeah. So.
They watch the old videos.
They did.
Yeah, have you shown them?
Yeah.
This
That's
is
pretty cool.
me.
I was leery about it. I didn't know how I wanted my sons to view me. This is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. Bodybuilding it wasn't making me happy anymore. And I just, when you're fighting something in your gut and you're fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and then eventually you're just like, dude.
How long have you been fighting this?
Ever since I started bodybuilding.
There you have it.
I tell you, I am really excited.
Dude, I'm literally stoked.
I'm really excited. I like I said, if you would have seen young DJ fight, and this was back
Dude,
when me and DJ used to go to the local bars, and he'd just be like, "I'm ready to amp everybody up," and he'd be like, "Who?" After a couple of drinks, he's like, "Let's go fight," and I'm like, "We're not. We don't even know who they are," and he's like, "I don't care." And then he got in the ring, and he would just destroy people.
Total
And that was,
savage.
and I tell you what, that was before Stipe was fighting. That was before Jess was fighting.
Well, the problem
It was
Stipe,
crazy.
Stipe and I were coming around the same time, but I remember Stipe kept having people that were dodging out of fucking fights.
He did, and
So
he'd
he
win
had,
in 39 seconds every time.
Yeah, he had like 2 or 3 fights scheduled, and I remember the one, it was in Chaparral's. I think it was the Chaparral's fight before mine. Dude showed up and just seen him and just pieced out. It was just like, fuck
I
no.
remember-
I ain't fighting that guy.
I remember buying tickets to those events, and we would literally get up front, and we'd spend $50, walk in right when Stipe was going to fight,
It's fucking over in
and
10
he'd
seconds.
kill the person. Like, the
the
dude
old-
would just
right.
die. A
It's like the
stretcher
old
would come
Tyson
in and
fight,
grab
so
him.
everybody's still watching Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, we're leaving. That was $50 gone, and that was it. And you felt with him, DJ was a very exciting fighter. He walked in with this confidence.
I could see him being like that entertaining fighter too.
He
to
had that
really
confidence
draw
in him, man.
the crowd in.
Yeah, I mean it's a certain level. It takes a different individual. I remember my first fight. I remember that cage door locking and clinking, and I remember going to myself, "Well, fuck, this is real now.
That's it.
You don't have an option now.
Now's you can't
This
leave.
dude's gonna beat me up, or I'm gonna beat him up."
I like that. Now you can't
Right,
leave.
right. So-
Yeah, how was so? There's a lot of people that go. I want to know how it would feel when you walk in that ring and you go click. Was that a set of nerves where you're like, well, I got to beat the shit out of this guy now?
It's a different set of nerves. I walked out of the state tournament of wrestling with 16 different mats in the Shot 9 Center where the Ohio State plays, and you got everybody screaming. You look up, and there's thousands of people, and you're like, man, this is scary. But when you're in that cage with one other dude and you know that he wants to fuck you up,
Yeah.
It's an awakening experience.
It's like
The first time he lands a shot in you, it's like
you're like, this is real.
like, oh man,
This is real, and it's
Time
not
to
my coach. Yeah, I've always wondered, just how that would feel. I'm sure it's a hell of
you
an
know what,
adrenaline
Larry?
rush.
Larry, you know what?
You want to try that?
You know what? Let's put you in the cage with DJ.
Listen,
Does anybody want to see that?
this fucking guy used to get.
We could
used to
give
go
you that
No,
experience, so.
listen. This is a way back story. This guy, we used to go and toss a few back and then go back to our buddy's house, and he would just and we would ask him to hit us, and he would fucking hit us. I swear to God, it hurt so bad, and everybody would laugh, and then the next guy would get up and go, "Come on, it ain't that bad," and then just.
wasn't it
crumples
Ben,
him.
right? They had my knuckles that were purple.
Yeah,
on
they
his
were
stomach.
purple on my buddy's, but on his stomach.
And he's like, "Come on, just hit me." And I was like, "No, dude, we've been drinking. No, we should
Yeah,
play."
no, dude,
And he's
just
like, fucking hit me, you bitch. I'm like,
know,
"Oh,
and there we
all right."
go.
So I hit him
And
with just like a short left hook.
he does have a soft stomach though if you do start vomiting, because that did happen, and he started vomiting.
Oh, okay. So that's your kryptonite.
I'm a sympathy puker.
Yeah,
Back in the ambulance, I'd be thrown up in a wheel.
that
all
was
the time.
Just a true empath.
but that was back in the day. It's so fun, and like with me, it's hard to interview DJ because I already kind of know a lot of his stories, but like for you,
I'm
like,
not the big bad guy they all say.
Yeah, no, he's.
We
I
got
tell
the
you-
big bad wolf.
No, he's always been a loyal person.
Yeah.
To anybody who knows.
For
him
the
at
short
all.
period I known DJ, he's been very supportive.
Of course.
Very, I mean, just a true friend in all aspects, from working out to business support. It's good to know people like you.
Right.
I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, it's cool.
But, yeah, no, I honestly I want to see you in the cage with DJ.
Me?
I'm gonna lock the door
we can't
myself.
have- There's a weight difference.
Fuck you, Larry. We're getting you in the cage. I'm gonna
No.
lock the door myself.
I truly believe that you should get in there. You
No
guys are about the same
chance.
size. He's like, no chance.
No chance.
What about Spencer? Should we get Spencer in there? I think.
Spencer?
Yeah.
No, he'll just honestly, his move would just be lie down and,
I've
pretend
trained
that he's
Spencer
dead.
a few times. I know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Or not.
He's got this. He's got
No,
that special
Spence-
strength.
Spencer would defeat a buffet, a Chinese buffet, but I don't know if he would stand up to you.
He's getting away with his nap. He doesn't want to. Listen, I got a nap to take. I can't do this right now.
His
That
nap
sounds
schedule.
like a lot of sweaty and heavy breathing. I'm good.
His nap schedule is legit.
I mean, let's be
though, I'm
honest. If
telling
I
you.
fight him in the ring, I'm gonna probably die of a heart attack before he even fucking hits me. So it's not
Yeah,
gonna
I think
matter.
I'm gonna die of a heart attack from laughing.
I think everybody would. I truly believe there'd be a lot of people going, "What the fuck is happening?" I'd be like the punching bag, like I can't feel a damn thing.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some charity boxing. In there.
That's
Oh,
fun.
dude, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
No, that's
Absolutely.
That's so. That's. I tell you what, like I said, I'm pretty excited for the fight.
Like I said, stoked over here. That's gonna be fucking.
How does Jessica feel about it? Now that you're training her, is she excited too?
Yeah, she loves it. I mean, Jessica, it's something we talked about for a long time. And we were in Canada. Yeah, we were sitting down, just her and I. She puts her arm around me and she goes, "Deej, you're just too fucking big." And I go, "Thanks, Jess." She goes, "No, you just gotta trim it down." And I said, "All right, and it's professional, and I got to hold pads for her. I got to move. I got to move with her. I got to be able to pummel with her, things like that." And I understand. I'm a big guy. She's a smaller woman. She's not small, but and it got me thinking. Do I really love eating 8 times a day? Do I really love, this? I can't even fucking breathe. I have to wear a CPAP when I sleep because I'm so goddamn big.
Is that actually something that is an issue with? I so that one weightlifter died a year or two ago. He was huge. He was like one of those famous ones that smacked that one kid one time. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Rich Piana.
Yeah. Is it feel? In all honesty, it feels like it's more work to become that big than it is to be anything else. I feel like
I'm
have
not
to keep
naturally
doing
a big guy, so for me to have to eat the way that I had to eat and train the way that I had to train, I was always eating.
Yeah.
When I was at the fire station, the guys would make the joke, "Well, you ever not fucking eating?" No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And I never really enjoyed it. Now, I mean, I eat when I feel like it. I mean, I still have, other than the tots and the buffalo wrap that I just ate away here. But no, I still have proper nutrition. It is what I do, but by trade. And You know, I know I need to downsize. I don't need to eat 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 calories a day.
How was that when you were firefighting, being a big dude?
Well, if they ever needed anything moved or torn down, they always call me.
Like car flipped over back.
Hey, go pull that fridge out and put it in the front yard.
So Marco, you were a firefighter.
Yeah, I was.
No, you guys have something in common.
Yeah, we went to the same 240, right?
240.
Did you guys?
Tri-C.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Hell of a time.
Good old fire.
I'll tell you what. I love the what I'm doing now, but I did love that experience and getting that knowledge, that perspective of being on the front line there. That was I only did it for a year, not as long as you. How long did you do it for?
I had 16 years on.
Yeah, so you had 15 years on me. so
that means you should get in the ring with him.
is that where this is?
Well,
is that where this is
you got to match the. You were also a bodybuilder, weren't you?
No, I was never a bodybuilder.
I mean, you were getting there.
Even though I have this this beautiful lat spread that sometimes I like to peacock.
Peacock.
My alpha male presence.
Holy shit! It's getting thick in here. Holy hell!
But no, I've never been a bodybuilder. I did some jujitsu, not much. I actually love jujitsu.
I do too.
But
I really love it. And after today, man, I walked out of that cage and I fucking love it, man.
Are you gonna do jujitsu?
Yeah,
up there.
We have Nick Goldeisen, who is a black belt under House of Gracie. He's gonna be coming in the gym. He's gonna be teaching classes. We're gonna have an academy out of there.
Now these are gonna be separate, pricing.
The pricing and shit. I mean, honestly, I don't even know yet. I love the sport. I love jiu-jitsu. Come on, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you allow everybody to use the cage if it's not in use?
Right now, no, because obviously I don't want people in there getting hurt.
Yeah, or hurting the cage.
Right, and everyone's a fighter until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So, I would prefer to keep everybody out of there that's untrained.
Right.
I do have my staff that's there, and they keep an eye on things, as well as members. My members police,
They do.
Very,
man.
DJ, real quick, tell us where your gym's located at and what's the best way to contact you or to get in or to start a membership. What should everybody do?
My gym is located in Menor, behind the old Toys R Us on Industrial Street called St. Clair. It's 7657 St. Clair Avenue. Find me on Facebook, Upgraded Industries. Find me on Instagram, Upgraded Industries. My cell phone, here it goes, 440-862-0531. Call me.
All right.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, call them. Get in there.
Anything else you want to throw in there?
Get upgraded.
Anything else you want to throw into?
I don't know. What else you want to throw in? Oh, pricing. Standard pricing, $32.99 for normal people, $26.50 for first responders, nurses, teachers, and then I have the Broadcast College Kid Special for $19.99. I also do corporate memberships for $19.99.
You also do the spouse membership too, which is different, don't you?
Add-on, family add-on, yeah. So anybody living in the same household, add you on to the other person's account as long as they are willing to do such for $15.99.
That's awesome, man.
Get upgraded. Can I be the voice?
Yeah.
Get upgraded.
Yeah, let's hear your best voice real quick.
Get upgraded.
I don't know. That kind of sounds constipated.
Get upgraded.
There it is. You got to do almost like the Macho Man. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, man. Well, hey, we do appreciate you coming on.
For sure, man.
You guys having
And
me on.
we do appreciate you announcing. Hopefully, you get enough viewers that hear it.
This shit's real, bro.
You got to get all the people listening.
Hey, we got to get you back on here.
Yeah,
'cause,
absolutely.
This was a fucking pleasure.
And we're gonna have more mics. So if you want to bring more people, I don't care.
Oh, man.
Bring your fans. Bring whoever.
Bring Jessica.
Yeah.
I can bring Jess in.
Yeah, bring
she'll
Jess
do
in.
that.
Let's hear her talk shit.
Unless Joe Rogan's got her.
No, we got to get her before Joe.
Yeah, we got to steal her before
We got to get her
Joe.
before. We're local.
Yeah.
Joe better put his ass on there. He better get it done.
He better. Well, hey, we appreciate it, really, honestly. And,
Thank you guys for having me.
And we'll set up that Marco fight.
Yeah, we'll
For
set up the
sure.
Larry fight 100%. Or maybe just me and Larry in there against you. What do you think?
Yeah, there we go, dude. That'll get
Or how about Marco versus Jess?
No, let's not. I mean, let's talk about
I'm not
this.
gonna lie. She'll
Hey,
whoop your ass.
Guys, let's just talk about this later. We don't have to talk about it right now.
I would love for him to cry from Jess.
Yeah, you guys are.
I
If you
would
guys want
love-
to see a grown
look at
man
him, look at him,
cry,
look at him.
You got to remember, man. Her training partner, they're all men. We only got one girl.
Nah,
She
no,
beats up dudes, bro.
no, I respect women. So
You respect that ass whooping she would lay on you.
more that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But,
I still can't wait for that to happen.
All right. Well, thanks for being on here.
Absolutely.
We
Thanks,
absolutely
guys.
love you, and we wish
man.
we wish you the best.
Thank you.
And good luck to Jessica.
Yeah,
and
good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
That fight's coming soon.
I'm not supposed to announce, but there's some hearsay of when it may or may not
Okay.
be.
Yeah, so it's
I don't
coming.
want to get anybody.
How soon until you're fighting? Like how
I don't
soon?
know. Like I said, I'm 228 pounds right now, and I'm not fat. I got to get to 185. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I got some stuff I
I
wanna
guess
do.
I'll have to yell at you when you're not when you're eating tots in Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, you took him out to dinner,
did. It's
so I
Larry's-
mean,
I
whose
know.
fault
Larry's
is it
fault
really?
completely, for sure.
It's mine.
Well,
It's mine.
thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
As always, fuck you, Larry. And thanks for coming on, DJ. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
See you.